All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how there's a reason why the scriptures say give double honors, man, and there's a reason why the scriptures say give honor unto your elders and give honor unto your teachers, man. There's a reason why the scriptures say that, and what I'm going to show here is videos, right, of the apostles teaching, and this is a playlist that I've got, right, that anytime I see like certain videos, like certain vintage street teaching videos, I add it to this playlist, man. Right, anytime I see like very old street teaching videos, I'll try and add it to this channel, man. All right, and there's so far 92 videos there, and there's some more modern videos that I've put on there as well. But one thing that I kept noticing when I was doing this is that the apostles went from teaching with not one head of gray hair, right, to then teaching with gray hairs on the head. And the first one I'm gonna do, let me go back, man, 1 second, because this video has actually been put up recently, or fairly recently. One of these videos I'm about to show, but what it shows here is Apostle Tahar with he's standing next to his teacher with no gray hairs in his head. All right, let's go to this quickly.
And you see what it says about
that right there, for people that don't know, that's Apostle Tahar, man. Right, and I only recently saw this video. It was put up 6 months ago, but I only recently saw this video, like maybe like about probably 2 months ago, right? And it shows Apostle Tahar right there teaching with not one head of grey hair, man. And I'm not sure exactly what year this is, right? But it must be quite a long time ago, 1992, right? Now most people, right, that know that the Hebrew Israelites right now today wasn't even born in 1992, right? They wasn't even born in 1992, but they're running around on the earth trying to make it like they just found out that there was an Israelite just randomly by themselves, as if there wasn't men when there was adults teaching about being a Hebrew Israelite while they was in nappies, right? Or still in their mother's womb, or not even in their mother's womb, still in their father's nuts, right? And they're trying to run around and play like they just found out that there was a Hebrew Israelite out of nowhere, and then try and have the nerve to try and talk about it's not about camps. But how did you find out that you're an Israelite then, dummy? Like, I've never understood the disrespect that people have for people that teach that they're Israelites, man, because it's you have to have the spirit on you to be able to do that, man. You have to have Yahweh has to have personally put a spirit on you to go out there and do that, especially to do it with longevity, man. Yet there's a lot of people out there that they're disrespectful as hell, man, as if they found out that they're an Israelite by their own self. Now, let's listen to a bit of this.
It says in the Proverbs, it says, 6 things that the Most High hates. Someone that's always running for wickedness. All right? Psalms 149 in the 2nd verse. Let's read. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Right? It says, let the children of...
That was Proverbs 6 before that he was going into. I'm not exactly sure. So lucky it skips my mind, the scripture that he just brought out. But what I want to show, man, if I can catch it on the screen, man, right? Let me see if I can catch it on the screen real quick. Right, I ain't been able to catch it in this video, but there you can see clearly that was Apostle Tahar, right? With not one grey hair in his beard or his hair, man, right? And then here's this video here is from the same day, right? 1 second. This video here is from the same day, and that man right there with the grey hair is one of Apostle Tahar's teachers, man, right? He's one of Apostle Tahar's teachers, High Priest Uriah, right? And he's got grey hair in his head. But now if you look to the time now, in the modern time now, right? In the modern time now, right? 1 second, let me see if I can find one. Right, I'll go with this one.
You know, because the Lord's going to clean...
Apostle Arami up there with grey hair in his beard. Apostle Tahar with grey hair in his beard. Apostle Rakar in the back, right? Looking older than he did in the past, right? And then I'm sure Apostle Gabar, there we go, Apostle Gabar right there as well, with grey hairs in his beard. But in this channel right as well, I'll be able to show you some videos with the Apostle Gabar as well, not having no grey hairs. There again, there's Apostle Tahar, no grey hairs in his beard.
What does the word mean?
And then standing next to him, if I'm not mistaken,
Could you please show me in the
Apostle
scripture?
Gabar. Exactly, right there, man. Right there in the brown coat. That's Apostle Gabar with not one shade of grey hair, man. But then when you go to this video,
You know, because the Lord's going to clean.
still believing the same thing, grey hairs in their beard, still got the spirit.
Oh, children of Israel.
Hear this word. Forget this guy. Hear this word that the Lord spoken what?
Against you,
Against you,
O children of
O
Israel.
children of Israel. So this is not for anybody else.
Exactly. Straight facts. It's not for everybody else. Still bunning out Esau. Still telling the Edomite to their face that it ain't for them, man. And it ain't for these Edomites, man. Right? Here's another one. Right? Here's another one.
It says you're supposed to be reminded of
Not one head of grey hair again. But what a lot of people do, man, in this world, man, what a lot of people do in this world is they want to try and claim that because they're trying to be a glory hunter, right? They want to try and make out like they come up with something original, man. Like musicians do it. Musicians won't try and pay homage to the musicians of the past. They'll try and make out like they're just coming up with a new sound, but the new sound originated from somewhere else. Same thing with languages. Languages originate from another language, man. People ain't just gonna make up random sounds and just create a new language out of nothing. That don't happen, man. The old way gives birth to the new way, right? And the old way is the best way anyway. The ancient way of living is the best way. The laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is the best way to live. But let's listen to a bit of this, because in this whole Apostles' Teachings playlist, man, there's a lot of edification in them, and there's a lot of things that you probably wouldn't have heard before that you can hear, man. But let's play a little bit of this.
this society basis goes back to the ancient Egyptians. That's why if you take out a dollar bill, somebody give me a dollar bill. You see here the Washington Monument, which we know to be the obelisk. It says here on the dollar bill.
Now, 1 second, I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna go back, but it says that this happened in 2001. There's a lot of people alive right now that know that the Hebrew Israelites bunning out camps, saying it's not about camps, that didn't know there was an Israelite in 2001. I know I didn't know I was an Israelite in 2001. I was still in school in 2001, right? I was still in school in 2001, man. I didn't know nothing about being no Israelite. I knew about some playing video games, some BS like that, man. I didn't know nothing about the Bible back then. I didn't care about the Bible like that back then. I thought that the Messiah was a so-called white man back then. You know, that's what I thought back then. I didn't know nothing. I thought I was black in 2001. I didn't know nothing about this. And a lot of other people, if they was being genuine, didn't know that as well. And every single person that knows that they're an Israelite right now today knows that they're an Israelite based on what the One West teaching did, especially through the great millstone teachings, man, and through their teachers that taught them. If a lot of people was sincere and wasn't after chasing glory, they'd admit that it is about camps. They'd admit that the reason why they know that they're an Israelite is because of what men like this did. But because a lot of people are assholes, they're not going to do that. Let's carry now. Let me carry on, Salakia, 1 second. Let me go back a bit.
Basis goes back to the Washington Monument. You're supposed to be reminded of ancient Egypt. Because this society basis goes back to the ancient Egyptians. That's why if you take out a dollar bill, somebody give me a dollar bill. You see here the Washington Monument, which we know to be the obelisk. It says here on the dollar bill, it says there's a pyramid with the so-called all-seeing eye. Now, the pyramid, again, goes back to the ancient Egyptians, right? Then it says on the dollar bill, to the obelisk, the symbol on the dollar bill, and by the way, this is not even United States currency. A United States dollar is actually a 1 troy ounce of silver, which is the silver dollar. That's a real dollar. That's why we have a thing called inflation. But going back to this dollar,
You see, and he's mentioning inflation back in 2001. Now, ain't that more relevant now today? 21 years later, ain't that a big problem right now today? And the video title's there, and it's on the playlist anyway, so people can watch it. I've watched this whole video, man. It was very, very edifying, man. I watched that video, but like in the back as well. Let me just quickly show something, man. In the back there, right there, in the left hand side, right there, with the coat and the hat and the in the cream coat with the hat on and the sunglasses. That's Apostle Ricard, looking a bit mightier in stature back then. And then now you can see this video just below where it says, "You will learn order." he's clearly aged, man, but he still believes in the Lord, though. That's 21 years just based off this video, man. That's 21 years just based off that. Now, not many people have known that they're a Hebrew Israelite, can say that they've known that they're a Hebrew Israelite for 21 years, man. But a lot of people are going to play games and say that it's not about camps. Here again, Apostle Dahar with no grey hairs in his head, right? But then what's this? Here in this video, he's an old man now, right? But people are still trying to talk some smack about it's not about camps and all of that. But how comes you know you're an Israelite then? How do you know you're an Israelite? You didn't just pick up the Bible and read that you're an Israelite. If you say that you did, you're a liar, man. If you're saying that you just woke up and picked up the Bible and randomly knew that you're an Israelite, you're a liar. That's what a scumbag would say, man. Let's go to this one here. This is from 1999, right? Let's go to this.
The celebration of Christ's rising.
right, is that found in the scriptures?
Sure.
Did Christ commission that to the disciples to follow that year after year?
Not that I know of.
Then why do the masses of people follow a thing called Easter and a thing called Christmas when it's not mentioned in the Bible?
I think it represents their faith that it happened.
Faith in what? Faith in the Bible or faith in the world, what the world says?
Faith in the event, faith that Christ did rise.
Now let me say this. Would you say the Roman Catholic institution is an institution that's following the Bible?
I have no idea.
So aren't you a Roman Catholic? Well, what faith are you?
Just a child of the universe.
What do you mean by a child of the universe?
I mean, I believe in a lot of different things.
Oh, so you're not sure what you really believe in?
See, so Eve's been saying that BS from a long time, man. That she's spirit. He's been saying that I'm spiritual talk from 1999, man. He's been saying that madness. So it's not no new thing of women being a bug out, talking about I'm into energies, I'm into vibes and all that. Because she was coming with that same stuff back in 1999, man. Right? And this woman's probably bugged out since, or she's getting ready to be destroyed or get the charagma, man. And she's going to remember that she met Apostle Tahar in that day, man. And anyone standing around is going to remember the conversation too that they ain't going to be able to say, I didn't know. I didn't know that the Negro, Latino, and Native American were Israelites. They ain't going to be able to say that, man. Because it's clear that they did know because they heard this conversation. Right? So that's one video there. Now, there's a video on here as well, man, with Apostle Gabar, man. Having, with Apostle Gabar having no grey hair in his beard as well, man, or in his head. 1 second, man. Because a lot of these people, man, they're talking smack about it's not about camps and all of that, right? But the reason why they know that they're Israelites is because of camps. So why you being a demon and lying for, man? Why? Why you go and try and do? That's like what a person would do in the music industry, man. They'll try and change like a C major to a C minor on a music track, and it's exactly, or try and play exactly the same notes on a track, right? But play it in a different key. So the music still flows the same. It's exactly still the same pattern of sound, but it's just played with different notes. And then they'll try and make it like they made it now. Because that's what can be done with every song. For people that know a little bit about music, with music, right? Any kind of beat or any kind of track or any kind of way that our music can sound can be played in a higher or a lower key. So if you had to play a C, then a D, then an E, then a G, that same pattern of flow can be played anywhere else on the keyboard, but in a different key. And that's what these people are trying to do. They're trying to say, oh, well, I heard that there was a one Western that they played it in that key, but I played it in a different key, so I came up with it myself. No, you didn't come up with it yourself, because you wouldn't have knew you was an Israelite if men before you didn't say that they was an Israelite and didn't get the spirit put on them by Yahweh Shem Yahushai to know that they're Israelites, man. So why are these people playing games for, man? Now, Salakia, excuse the rent, but I want to try and find the one that I saw before with Apostle Gabar. Salakia, if I can't find it, man. Here we go.
Yeah, and a lot of you people out there, when you find out that somebody's a homosexual, you say, well, no, it's okay, as long as he don't bring that stuff to me. Yeah. So you know what you're doing? You're promoting it right along with the so-called white man.
That's true. The scriptures say, he that forsakes the laws of the Lord praises the wicked. And that's in Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 4. Now, me saying that ain't no original thought, because people have been saying it. That's been in the scriptures, man. It's long been in the scriptures, and another person will come by that's being insincere, will try and make it like they're rephrasing it when they say it. But no, it's been said of old, man. It's been said of old time. Let me carry on playing.
You're justifying it. Oh, it's okay. He can be a faggot as long as he don't touch me with that. Well, you're promoting it. That's why the Lord is going to destroy 2/3 of you bonehead so-called.
Exactly. Still saying the same things that they said in the past, right? But they had their teachers that they used to have the gray hairs before them. But now they've taught, and now they've became those men with gray hairs. But they still believe though. And even still, after they would have been teaching all this long, I saw an Apostle Gabar saying this in a video recently, man, and all the apostles say the same thing, right? I'm of the hopeful elect. Because they ain't proud to think that just because they've been teaching for a long time that they have got it all and they got all the answers in terms of knowing that they're Israelite, man. I mean, in terms of knowing that they're going to receive salvation, they don't say that. But in the world, if somebody's been doing something for 20 or 30 years, they just assume that they've got it together, right? Like a nurse might say, if they do some male practice, they might say, I didn't do nothing wrong. I've been doing this job for 20 years. That don't mean that you've been doing it right for 20 years, though. They could have been jacking things up for 20 years, man. That's what they could have been doing, man. But in that's what the world does. In the world, people say that just because you've been doing something for a long time, that means you're definitely certified. But the apostles ain't got the pride like that. They're saying that the doctrine's true, but they're still hoping that they're of the elect. Even still, after doing it for decades, man. At a length of time that a lot of people calling themselves Hebrew Israelites now haven't even been alive, right? Neither have they known that they're a Hebrew Israelite for that amount of time. So the order's already been set in the hierarchy, man. The order's already been set in the hierarchy. And again, this video is a good video that people can watch as well to get edified, man, and to learn some things that you probably never learned before. Right, here's another one. Teaching at universities and everything, man. Burning out these hard-necked, stiff-necked students that think that they know something because they got a so-called degree, but they don't even know who they are. And that right there, right, is the apostles, right? If I'm not mistaken, you can clearly see that that's Apostle Tahar. But if I'm not mistaken, the man next to him on his left is Apostle Gabar, man. But people, right, because of pride, man, and because Satan gets in people's minds and makes them start getting proud, they're going to say, it's not about camps, you know, or they're going to say, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I ain't about that one West, East, or hate stuff. Well, what? You're not about the scriptures then, for real? You're a joker. Right now, watch this, man. Look at the date that this has been given. 1991. 31 years ago. Right? 31 years ago, man. So how are you going to scoff? Right? How are you going to scoff and say something ain't about camps? Yet men have been teaching so long before you've been alive, man. Teaching this doctrine that you believe now. Long before you was been alive, or at a time where you was being a child, on some childish stuff. You see what I mean? Like, how can people say that, man? For men to go from teaching at a young age, right, in their youth, remembering the Creator in the days of their youth, and giving up their youth for the Lord, to now being old men. To now being old men, still teaching the same thing. Now being old men still teaching the same thing. That's Apostle Bar right there, right on the mid to right screen, and Apostle Ariamlab in the middle of the screen, with grey hairs in their head. After going from a time where they didn't have any grey hairs in their head, man. And again, this video here is a good video, man. And let me see if, you know what, let me see if I can find the interaction with the Renaissance man. Yeah, man, let's find this, because this is, I'm not even going to say nothing with this bit, because it shows that these people of the world, they think they're so smart and they think they're so slick, right? But as soon as the word of the Lord comes out, these people run and scurry, man. And I found it here. It's at 1 minute. Damn, I think it's at 11 minutes 44, you know. Let's see. So, like, yeah, 1 second.
It's two words. Re, back to, and Nissan's meaning birth. All right? See these two Edomites over here?
Yep. It's at 11:44. You can't make that up, man. And you can clearly see, man.
And by the way, it's two words. Re, back.
That devil out the corner of his eye, being a slippery serpent from the Garden of Eden, trying to smile and think he was wise. But watch what happens, man. Let's see.
Two, and Nissan's meaning birth. All right? See these two Edomites over here? And by the way, those Edomites, you're looking at me. You don't know what you're Edomite?
No, I'm a Renaissance man. That's why.
Okay, that's why I said, what does it mean?
Renaissance, it means rebirth.
Okay, what time period did the Renaissance take place?
I'd say 1490 to 15.
Earlier than that, but you're close.
In Florida.
Okay, now, Renaissance was set up by what? Their art, right?
Yeah, it was about Christ and the return of the man.
No, white Christ. Because prior to the Renaissance, wait a minute, hold up, don't run now. Wait a minute now, I got one more question, all right?
All right, go ahead.
Look, prior to the Renaissance, right? When you go back to the Russian icons, what color was Christ Jesus? It was white. And he was white? Hold up, give me the icons.
Wait, you going to show me?
Hold up. Wait a minute. This is Renaissance, man. Open up the page. This is Renaissance right here, and this is pre-Renaissance.
Renaissance.
Icons and saints of the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Right.
And I purchased this right out of here.
Right.
And as you see, pre-Renaissance, they're all black. That's Christ. Elijah, Moses, yeah. See, they're all
see
black.
that.
You can see they're black.
I see that.
You see that? See?
But I'm colorblind.
Yeah, he's colorblind. He's demon, man. He's colorblind. And you know what, yeah? As this is taking place right here now, and let's see if it says the date here. Now, don't say when the date of this day was, but as this guy's talking about he's colorblind right now, what's happened recently, like within the last 2 days or the last 2 weeks, he's on a TV show called Game of Thrones House of the Dragon, right? There's a new character on there. There's a character on there from, and I'm going to do a lesson on it, Lord will, after this, whenever I remember. There's a character, or there's a house called Valerian or Valerian or something like that, or Targaryen or something related to Targaryens and all of that or something. And there's a so-called black characters on there, and people are losing their mind saying, how comes he's black? How comes he's this? How comes he's that? So when it comes to fake people that didn't exist, they bug out and lose their mind that the images have changed. But they ain't got nothing to say when real people that existed and real people's histories are history of being Israelites being changed. They say, oh, it's not about the character, it's not about the color, it's about his works and what he did. Well, how about it's not about that when it comes to the characters on the Game of Thrones fake TV show, by the way. It's not real, nerds. It's not even real, bruh. When it comes to that, it's not even real. It's a TV show with flying dragons, right? With ice dragons, with ice zombies, right? With dragon eggs, which we as Hebrew Israelites, we believe some things that the most people in this world wouldn't believe. But these Edomites, when they see these things, they don't even believe that stuff could really happen, man. Because if they did, they believe in the scriptures. If they believed that there could potentially be a fire-breathing dragons, and that there could potentially be ice dragons and all of that, if they believed that kind of stuff could ever happen, then they would have to also believe the stuff that's written in the Bible. They would have to believe that the UFOs that people see and speak about in the world book are God's chariots, right? They'd have to believe that men could walk on water. They'd believe the stories that are written in the scriptures of men walking through fire and not being burned. But they have a problem with fake fantasy being changed, but they don't have a problem with the real world histories that they change, man. And that's why this devil here is talking about he's colorblind. No, you're not. How you work in art and you're colorblind? And I'm pretty sure that the apostles say that same statement, which is probably why I'm saying it also, man. Because I remember them saying it. You can't be an artist and be colorblind, man. Artists work with color, but because these people are demons, they gotta say one thing when it's one situation, but then another thing with another situation. But let me go back about 20 seconds so that I can play this uninterrupted, man. Salakia. And I said I wasn't gonna interrupt, man, but I had to say that, man. Salakia, man. Salakia.
Icons and saints of the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Right.
And I purchased this right out of here.
Right.
And if you see pre-Renaissance, they're all black. That's Christ. Elijah, Moses, yeah. See, they're all
see
black.
that.
You can see they're
I
black.
see that.
You see that? See?
But I'm colorblind.
I know you would be. I would if I was you. I'd be colorblind too.
Give me John 7:38.
See? So now you.
Yeah, ain't it? That's right, man. I don't know if you heard what Apostle Gabar said. They said he's truth blind. And they are truth blind, man. The thing with the Edomite, right, is they cannot say the truth, you know. They cannot tell the truth. The thing with a woman a lot of the time, too, is they cannot tell the truth. So that's the reason why Esau and women get along like a house on fire in this world, man. Because they are both two characters of groups that are void of hearing the truth, man. They can't hear the truth. They don't want to hear that. They can't face reality, man. Now let me play it again, Salakia.
See that?
You see that? See?
But I'm colorblind.
I know you would be. I would if I was you. I'd be colorblind too.
Give me John 7:38.
See? So now you can know, since you're an artist.
That's right. I'm
Renaissance.
interested in humanity. I'm not interested.
Oh, you want to be that human stuff, man. Yeah. But anyway, man.
No, it's funny. It was like Taha said, you want to do that human stuff. Yeah, that's right, man. You know what, man? These devils are demons, man. Right? And since we've got this word as well, man, and Thawadi Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for giving us this word, because since we got this word also, right, we've been able to really realize that you Edomites and you heathens are demons, man. Right? You might have a car around your area, and the car might literally be a banger, right? But your neighbor might have a car that's like the same year or 1 year less, but your car is a bit bigger, so you can fit a bit more stuff in your car. And your neighbor's gonna try and weasel their way around to try and make you lose your car, and then try and get the same car as you to try and compete with you. And you're thinking, man, here it is, I'm broke in this world, struggling, and some heathen that's supposed to be able to weasel their way around and get that world's goods because they got the image that can get the benefit of the doubt, and they still are trying their best to compete with us in our low level, man. These heathens are losers, man. Right? And these Edomites are some losers too, man. Let me play this back again, Salakia.
So now you can know, since you're an artist.
That's right. I'm interested in humanity. I'm not interested.
Oh, you want to be that human stuff, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, man.
What is iconoclasm?
You should know that.
An icon is something that you like worship. So it's making a
Icon is
separation
an image.
between
On your computer screen, you got icons.
Right.
Separation between different gods.
What does
Iconoclasm? Iconoclasm. What does that mean?
Show me it.
It means
It means to
face-
You see what I
destroy.
mean? You see what I mean? He got said, what does iconoclasm mean? Right? And then he didn't have the answer, but he's talking about he's a Renaissance man that built ideas and images, man. Right? But Apostle Gabar is gonna give the answer anyway. Let's hear it.
Yeah, the face of the
You had a thing, when the flood took place, it was called a cataclysm.
1 second, Salakia.
Iconoclasm.
Iconoclasm. What does that mean?
Show me it.
It means to destroy.
Yeah, the face of the
You had
It means to destroy, but this guy's supposed to, he was boasting a couple of minutes ago earlier, saying he's a Renaissance man and all that. And that, what you're seeing, what you're witnessing right here, is what's spoken of in Jeremiah, the 9th chapter and the 23rd verse, which, let me see if I can quote it off the top of my head, man. It says, thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and know of me, that I am the Lord, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For indeed, since I delight, saith the Lord. And that's what the apostles are doing. They ain't glorying in their wisdom or their might, right? They was glorying in that they know the Lord, right? And because of that, Yahweh gave them wisdom, right? And gave any other men wisdom as well that ain't glorifying in their self, man. so that when people try and come up against us regarding anything to the Bible, they end up bugging out, foaming at the mouth, and losing the plot, man. Right? But this man was boasting in his works, and what you're witnessing here in this video, in this little segment of this video anyway, is 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter, and around like the 25th verse, where it speaks about the foolishness of God is wiser than men. And he set up the lower status men in this world to bring to naught the things that are. This man that's running his mouth is a man that is in this world, right? He probably owns a house and owns a property even still now to this day, probably owns more now to this day. But he's being told what's what in a field that he's actually went to colleges and universities for. But he's being told about things when the apostles didn't have to do none of that. But people are going to talk about something and be mentioning iconoclasm now. There's a lot of Hebrew Israelites mentioning that word now and saying things about it. But where did they get it from, though? They got it from the apostles teaching about it decades before some of them even was knowing about being an Israelite, man. But anyway, let me carry on playing this.
When the flood took place, it was called a cataclysm to destroy the universe.
Okay.
Iconoclasm means to destroy the icons.
I'm about art.
Listen now.
I'm listening. But
The
you're not
Renaissance.
listening.
I know. I don't gotta listen, right? You gotta listen to me.
I'm one of the
Now
best
listen.
sculptors in the country. I'm
Oh,
listening.
are you, mate? That's a Ian McStraw's ass motherfucker. I'm one of the best sculptors in the country. Yeah, mate. I'm one of the best sculptors. Well, are you? What? Well, that's obviously not worth nothing. Are you gonna be able to sculpt something? Sculpt yourself a chariot when it comes time for them nukes. I'm one of the best sculptors in the country, and he probably is. This guy's probably a millionaire a couple of times over, man. But guess what? That wisdom didn't mean nothing, and just like I said, this guy was boasting in his wisdom and his glory and in his might, right? But that didn't mean nothing against the spirit of the Lord, man. Because really, it was Yahweh answering this man. Because the scriptures say in Proverbs chapter 16:1 that even the answer from a man's tongue is from the Lord. The scriptures say in Luke chapter 21 and verse 15 that I will give you words and wisdom which your adversary shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. He couldn't argue with nothing that they're saying, right? And let me go back a bit because you probably don't want to hear me talk as much, but Salakia,
When the flood took place,
if you don't want to hear me talk, right, here's what you can do. Go on to this video, search this in the description box, right? Go to the timestamp, 13 minutes 41, and then just play it straight from there. But really, it would be from 11 minutes 44, which is spiritual, man. But anyway.
it was called a cataclysm to destroy the universe.
Okay.
Iconoclasm means to destroy the icons.
I'm about art.
Listen now.
I'm listening. But
The
you're not
Renaissance.
listening.
I know. I don't gotta listen, right? You gotta listen to me.
I'm one of the
Now
best
listen.
sculptors in the country. I'm listening.
Okay, but now listen. The Renaissance period came about to destroy the black images of
that's
Christ in the
enough. I'm
display. See?
Yeah, you see, one of the best sculptors in the country. That's about art. Can't handle no truth, though. You see? Oh, that's enough. That's when he waved his hand and said, "That's enough." Right? That was even fulfilling prophecy. As for his enemies, he puffeth at them. Right? This guy is a demon, man. He was a real demon.
Country. I'm listening.
Okay, but now listen. The Renaissance period came about to destroy the black images of Christ in the display. See?
He couldn't handle even 2 seconds of hearing about that. Hearing about the evil that his people have done. And that's what the scriptures say in Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10. For violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, man. And that's what's happening to these demons, man. They can't ever escape the hatred that they have for us. They can't hide it, man. And like I said before, with that Game of Thrones character, the new Game of Thrones character that's came out, he's a dark-skinned Jake, right? With like white dreads, right? And he's wearing royal garments, man, just like how every other character is in the show, right? And it's too powerful of an image for them to be able to handle seeing, man. But guess what? Yahweh Shai is like that for real, though. Yahweh Shai is a dark-skinned royal for real. And he ain't going to have no dreads, man. Yahweh Shai is going to have dark skin and white woolly hair and a white beard. And he's going to be royal for real, though. He's the head of the royal house of Israel. He's the head of the head tribe. He's the head of the nation. and the head of the head tribe, man. So how are people, if they can't handle hearing about the Renaissance was made to destroy black images, and if they can't handle seeing a fake show have a black character being so-called black character having any kind of powerful image, how are they going to handle the kingdom of heaven, man? When we're all going to be changed into gods. They ain't going to be able to handle it, man. But you know what? Who cares about them going to be able to handle it, man? They're still going to have to drink the cup, man. They're surely going to drink of it like the scriptures say. Let me carry on.
In the country, and I'm listening.
Okay, but now listen. The Renaissance period came about to destroy the black images of Christ and the disciples. See,
I'm done.
That's what you
I'm done. I'm done with the BS.
You can't handle it.
Even the Jake Bin guy was laughing, man, because he knows that this guy was a demon, and he probably remembers that still to this day, man. The time where men reading the Bible was able to confound one of the so-called best sculptors in the world, man.
The black images of Christ and the disciples. See, I'm done. That's what you
Let's look at that again, man. This guy was a real demon, man. I remember this video.
But now listen. The Renaissance period came about to destroy the black images of Christ and the disciples. See,
I'm done.
That's what you
I'm done. I'm done with
He's right about that. He is done. He is done, man. He is done. He was right to say that. He is done, man. All these Edomites are done. Little demon, man.
You can't handle the truth.
I got a precept.
Hey man, you see this guy, man? The two Edomites, they were walking by, snickling, right? Because I said the word Renaissance, so I call them out, man.
You know what, man? You see that fucking shit. He caught them snickering because they thought, a black guy talking about the Renaissance. Quite. He wouldn't know anything. That's what they was thinking, man. They thought that these devils just think they know everything, man. But they can't even handle a Game of Thrones character. Like, I'm going to have to say it again. They can't handle a Game of Thrones character being dark-skinned. So how are they going to be able to handle Yahweh Shai being dark-skinned when they see him? They can't even handle the scriptures that say he's dark-skinned. So how are they going to be able to handle seeing it for real, man? How are they going to be able to handle that? And they're complaining about fake history being changed, but they ain't got no problem with real history that they've changed, man. They ain't got a problem with that. The Last Samurai, he's a so-called white man. A movie about the Great Rule of China is a so-called white man. The ancient biblical old black and white biblical movies that they made about the Egyptians and the Israelites, all the characters in this look like so-called white people in that. But they ain't got nothing to say about that, though. These people are demons, man. And that's going to be a recurring word that you're going to hear in reference to these people because it's the best word to describe them, man. Wicked demons, right? They were sniggering, laughing when he mentioned the word Renaissance and stuck around to the side, right? But then when he stepped into the arena, which he thought he was going to step into the arena as the best sculptor in the world and be able to confound somebody, right? Being a sculptor is a skilled craft, right? But when he came up against the truth of the Lord, right? When he come against the truth that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has poured his spirit upon men to teach, he couldn't handle it, man. And he had to bounce out of there because he knows it's true. But he just didn't want us to know it's true. Let me go back talking that jazz.
Guys, man, the two Edomites, they were walking by, snickling, right? Because I said the word Renaissance, so I call them out, man. Now you see how fast that devil got down the street. And he's a devil, man. Because he says he believes in humanity.
And he's colorblind, but he's an artist. He's colorblind, right?
But he's an artist.
Exactly, just like the brother said, and he's colorblind, but he's an artist. How you colorblind and you're an artist? Artists deal with color.
You can't be an artist unless you know. And he's a devil, man. Because he says he believes in humanity.
And he's colorblind, but he's an artist. He's colorblind, right?
But he's an artist. You can't be an artist unless you know.
I'm colorblind, but I'm an artist. Okay, I'm the best 100-meter sprinter in the world, but I got no legs. Come on. I'm the best boxer in the world, and I got no hand, but I don't believe in hands. You know, I don't believe in hands though, but I'm the best boxer in the world. You know, I'm a wine taster. I'm a wine tester and a wine taster, but I ain't got a tongue. I've never had a tongue from my birth. Come on. How would those sayings make any sense? That's an oxymoron, bro. To be a artist, but you don't see color. Come on, that's dumb. Artist stealing colors, bro. He didn't even say I'm colorblind. Literally, he tried to quote about, man. You know what, man? Let me play this.
Colors, man. Because he says he believes in humanity.
And he colorblind, but he's an artist.
He's colorblind, right? But he's an artist. You can't be an artist unless you know colors, man.
He didn't even know what the word iconoclast is.
You don't know too much of anything, man.
And that's what happened during the world. That's what happened during the Renaissance era. Right. You had something called iconoclasm, which was the defacing of the true images. Right?
That's it. But let the record show he got his ass down the street, and his woman didn't.
Yep. The record clearly showed that demon devil, son of Idumea, Esau, Edomite, red Hebrew Edomite, Esau of Edom, Amalekite, Temanite, right? From the Agagite tribes of, he got his ass right down the street, man. He got the hell out of there, bro. As soon as things started getting a bit heated up, and he could see the spirit stirring up, he got his ass right out of there, man. But people are still going to say that you don't have to pay no homage to the ancient teachers, right? To the teachers of old that have taught, man. Of course you have to, man. This is a heavy video, man. And I'd recommend for people that ain't seen this video to watch this video, man. You can learn a lot,
Come nowhere near.
Was the defacing of the true images. Right?
That's it. But let the record show he got his ass down the street, and his woman didn't want to come nowhere near us, man.
Go ahead, brother.
Talking about I'm an artist. And I do. Man, look, man. We can show you about art.
That's right. We got it, bro. This is John chapter 7, verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Right, so what's the apostle? I'll read it for you again. It reads,
You see what I mean, man? Like, these Edomites, man, they ain't got the juice, man. They ain't got the juice when it comes to the truth, man. They're liar devils, man. Right? And like I said, man, this channel's got loads of videos that of the apostles teaching, man. And you can get edified by watching these things, especially if you're a new learner, man, a beginner. The apostles of Great Millstone, man, right? They'll teach you the things that are necessary for your salvation, man, right? And I'm gonna end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.